Hey there, this is Dave from the Author's Reserve, and today we're going to be doing a Currently Inked for April 2025. I'm going to do an abbreviated form of this because I'm just inking up with blacks and blues this month, and that's kind of boring. I've actually done most of the work, so I'm just going to go through and explain what I've got set up for the month. First of all, I'm using these 5 pens plus this pen here, which is my everyday carry. Let me just go through the pens and explain what I'm doing with them. This one here, as I mentioned, is the everyday carry pen. This is a TWSBI vac, mini vac, and this is actually not going very well. There's just too many twists to get it, so I'm writing. It's been leaky. It's also a little bit bulky for an everyday carry pen. I'm doing a video right now of a bunch of pocket pens, and it's not one that I'm focusing on in that video, and I just have better options, a lot of better options than this one this month, but this is the one I chose. Anyway, I'll stick with it for the rest of the month and then clean it out. I, by the way, cleaned out all of my pens, so I started over. I had noticed that some pens had been like lingering with ink in them for a few weeks. It was getting to a point where I needed to kind of purge and then start over. So all of my pens right now, except for the ones that you see here, are all cleaned and dried and sitting on my shelf waiting to be used again. So there's that one there, and this one here has Van Diemen's Liberty Blue. Now, this is an Australian company, and if I can show you the color swatch for that, it comes after S but before W. No, that's Waterman Serenity Blue. There we go. It's a little bit like Oxford Blue from Diamine, but brighter, and the sheen has a little more red in it, and also similar to Colorverse Stars and Stripes, and also Stars and Stripes and Liberty. Definitely some American theme going on there. Here's Stars and Stripes and Van Diemen's. That's Majestic Blue. Let's see. There's the Oxford Blue, much darker. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it looks more like Majestic Blue, doesn't it? Yeah, interesting. I hadn't picked up on that before. I like the color, just not the pen so much. Okay, and then we have the Lamy 2000, and the reason I'm using this one this month, and I'm not using it as an everyday carry, which I have for, I mean, of all of my everyday carry pens, this one has had the most use. This model anyway. This particular one has a architect grind on it. There's something going on with the leaking here. I need to investigate that, but this is my pen to practice architect writing style on it, and I've been practicing over the last month that style of writing, having a lot of fun with that. That is right now running Carbon Black in it, which is just a really good solid black ink. Then I have the Parker 51, which I'm using for my daily planning, and this one here has Parker Quink in it, Parker Quink Black. We'll get back to this one here in a moment, but I needed a pen for my daily planning, and that requires a fine nib. I'm finding that this fine is maybe not fine enough for the A5 plotter that I'm using. The grids for my habit tracking and so forth are fairly small, and I'm finding this is writing just a little bit too wide, more like a medium. So I might try a drier ink, or maybe find a different pen, because this is really feeling kind of blotchy. So there's that. Then we have here the Edison Morgan, which is a pen I've been dying to spend some time with. I asked Brian to send this to me to evaluate whether or not I wanted to purchase one for a project that I'm working on. And I just couldn't stop looking at it. There's something about the symmetry of this pen that I absolutely love and I find mesmerizing. I really like this colorway as well. And this pen here has Waterman Serenity Blue. And the reason I chose this one for that pen is because I kind of want to get to know that nib and that pen. And this is a very neutral ink and not too dry, not too wet, very easy to clean, dries reasonably well, reasonably quickly. And it doesn't hide any problems with the pen, but it doesn't highlight any strengths of the pen either. So I'm just using this as a baseline ink to kind of get to know that pen and over time. All right, and then there's this pen here, which is the Pilot Custom 743. This is one of my favorite pens, pen models in general. This is 743, even over the 823. The 823 is a vac filler, whereas the 743 is just a cartridge converter pen. The reason I chose this pen for this month is it has a Falcon nib. And if you're not familiar, Falcon nib is a very flexy nib, and I am using this pen to teach myself some copperplate, which hopefully you'll see in later videos where I'm going to be doing some writing samples, but I'll be practicing this with this book here. I have another one also that goes more into the theory of copperplate. And so there's that. And I've purchased some tracing paper and so forth to help with that. Now, this isn't a like vintage flex, which you'd really want to have for copperplate calligraphy, but it's still going to be one of my best flex pens in my collection. That pen I have inked up with Aurora Black, and Aurora Black is a very good ink for that sort of writing. You want one that flows well, and Aurora does. And the reason for that is because as the tines splay out, it needs more and more ink to make the broader line widths, and so an ink that flows well is important. And then lastly, I have this one here, which is the Pelican M805. I'll put a link right here to that video where I'm doing a long-term review of this one. I talk a little bit about that pen in that video. And that one I have inked up with Parker Quink Black also. Oh, yes, Parker Quink Black. Let me just double check that. Do a little quick test here. Oh, nope. I have the Waterman in there. I have the Waterman Blue. I didn't make mention of that one in my monthly journal here, so I'll do that later on today. Then also, since we've talked about these inks here, I wanted to talk about a couple more. I got this one in a PenCollector mystery box, I believe. And then I got this one from Gold Spot. And so I want to show you that. It's Wearing Gold. So Wearing Gold, call the Chahulu. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Like, how many colors can one ink have? If you look at it, you've got the burgundy sheen here, almost a black in the middle there. You have some turquoise in here, you have some green, and then even some yellow. It's just like so many colors. I kind of wish that they wouldn't have, made it like this evil creature of the of nightmares, because this ink is like stunning. If they would have called it like Magic Forest or something like that, you know, something more enticing. I don't know. I just think going for something that's scary is probably not a great marketing move. But anyway, I thought that one was really interesting. And then there's a couple more inks that I have just received over the past 2 days. And one of them is Pelikan 401 Brilliant Black. I haven't ever purchased a Pelikan ink before. I've got plenty of Edelstein inks, and here's the Onyx Black. So I'll be interested to try these side by side. I'll do a swatch of this one at some point this month. I also, as I've shown you here, had these two Parker Quink inks. This is black and this is blue, or so I thought. All this time I thought I was using Parker Blue, and it's actually Parker Blue Black. So I went ahead and I corrected that problem and added the blue, which just arrived yesterday. So I'll be looking at this one. And then if I didn't have enough blues now, I also added Pilot Blue Black as well. I swear I had this before. I don't see it on my shelf. So I think I might have given it away as a gift, purchased it as a gift and gave it away. But this is also a very neutral behaving ink as far as I understand, but I will find out for myself later on this month. Okay, so that's it for my inks and my pens for this month. Let's talk about a giveaway. This one's going to be a little bit longer term giveaway. We've talked about the Parker 51 here. Hongdian also makes a copy of the Parker 51, as they often do with a lot of pens. This one is called the Hongdian 51A, and I am going to give away one of these each month. If you put in the comment section down below black, B-L-A-C-K, put that in the comment section and you'll be automatically entered to win one of these pens. I have quite a few of them to give away. They're not a very expensive pens. It's not like you're getting like an amazing pen out of this, but it does write really well. So over the next 6 months, I'm going to give away one of these pens to one lucky person, and just put in the comment section down below black, and each month for the next 6 months, you'll be entered to win. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.